Hello everybody, Carrie Bowman here. How you guys doing? Trying to figure out if you can see me. I am not at my desk this evening. As you can see, we'll soon have animals all over this because they know when there's a live going on and they want to make an impromptu appearance. So, all right, so I was thinking today about how there are a lot of people that I used to work with when I first, see, here's one right here. When I first started coaching, that I won't work with today. Not because I don't care about them, not because I think that they're not worthwhile, but because they're not ready. And I wasn't ready for a really, really, really long time. I mean, years and years and years. And, if I had taken a lie detector test or anything like that, I think I probably would have passed because I said, I really, really want to change, but yet nothing ever changed. And it was like, oh my gosh, here's a whole nother day, a whole nother week, a whole nother month, and for a lot of us, a whole nother year or years, and nothing has changed. So there's a dissonance there, right? There's a disconnect. And it became really apparent, both for me and my professional experience and my personal experience, that if you're not 100% ready to change, it ain't going to happen. And so I don't coach people that aren't 100% ready, that don't want to change more than literally breathing, because it's not going to work. Most people, possibly you, I don't know, most people are really not willing to change. It takes a huge amount of, there's all different kinds of words I can use here. For me, it took a huge amount of pain to be willing to change. And I got into a place of desperation where the idea of living one more moment in the experience that I was in was unfathomable to me. So you have to ask yourself, if you keep on setting goals and they're not working, or you keep on wanting to change and it's not happening, or you keep on ... and it's not ... well, there's something going on. And the common denominator is you. And I'm going to just be real honest tonight, because this is, someone sat me down, a long, long time ago, more than a decade ago, and told me what I'm telling you tonight. And they said, Carrie, the reason that you're not willing to change is you're getting something out of the place that you're in. I'll say that again. They said, Carrie, the reason that you're not willing to do the work or to show up in the process, the reason basically that you're not willing to change is because you're getting something from the place that you're in. And what they meant by the place that you're in is they meant kind of either the dilemma that I was in, the challenge that I was in, the shit that I was in, the experience that I was in. Doesn't matter. That where I was in my life, I was getting something out of being there. And it really blew me away when they said that, because I was in a lot of pain. And I was really quite offended, actually, because to me, it was like, I'm in so much pain. How could I be getting something out of this? But I needed to see that I was indeed getting something out of it. And for me, I'm not saying this is for you, but for me, I was avoiding taking responsibility for myself. I was placing blame outside of myself, or I was waiting for the job to change, or the relationship to change, or I was waiting for something outside of myself to change, because I didn't think that I was the problem. I didn't think that I needed to really change. I thought that all these other things around me, if they molded and changed and evolved, then I would be better. And so basically what I was getting out of staying where I was is I was avoiding responsibility. I mean, guys, let's be honest, to take responsibility for yourself and to say, okay, here's my equation right here. Here's where I am, and I don't like it. And I got to take responsibility for the fact that I got here. I am here because of me. Now, we all have, circumstances that seem unfair. Negative, painful things can happen. I'm not saying that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to take responsibility for ourselves. And taking responsibility for ourselves can be really, really frightening. It scared the shit out of me. I was terrified to take responsibility for myself, because I felt like it was this big, black, dark box with black newspaper that had mold all over it. That was the gift that I was opening by taking responsibility. I had to look at myself, and that's what I felt like I had to open, to look at myself, and I was terrified to take responsibility. But I also knew that if I didn't open, what I perceived as being this really horrible thing, which it wasn't, then nothing was ever going to change. And so when we finally change is when the pain of staying where we are is greater than the unknown of what it's going to be like on the other side. I'll say that again. when we finally change, or when we're finally available for change, is when the pain, literally the pain of where we are, is greater than not knowing what it's going to be like on the other side. So for me, that big, dark, smelly box, I didn't know what that was going to be like. I was terrified, but I was willing to do anything. Nothing could have been as bad as where I was, and it was bad where I was. But it doesn't have to be bad on the outside. Like I was a black hole on the inside and on the outside. It doesn't have to be like that. I mean, literally people living the same daily experience every day. I mean, do you ever feel like that? Where like you get up in the morning and you go to work and you eat lunch and then you sit down and you have the same conversations and you make the same cup of coffee and then you come home and blah, 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 blah. And like literally is every single day is the same day. People that experience that same daily kind of lackluster experience, that is painful. So it might look on the outside like people have it together, but I promise you, don't ever compare your internals, what you're feeling and thinking, with someone's externals, what they look like. Because I promise you, it is not, it's a faulty equation. It doesn't work. It does not work. So, you know, if you're in a space where it's painful, I say welcome it. I say that's good. I see great changes come from pain. I see great changes come from desperation. I don't think that all change has to come from pain or desperation, but a lot of it does. And I believe when we first begin to change, that really is the doorway. Pain was my doorway, an infinite amount of pain. And today, I'm really grateful for that pain because it brought me to my knees. And man, I needed that. I needed that humility in order to realize that I had to look at myself and that there was something going on with me. And I'm grateful. And I'm still grateful today that when there's something going on in my life that I don't like, I got to look at me every single friggin' time because it's always with me. Everything in your life is one big mirror for you. So your relationships, your business, your career, your pets, everything is one big mirror for your relationship with yourself. And that doesn't have to be a scary thing. I know at first that it can feel like that, but it can be a wonderful thing. But if you're still in the same place and you're not changing, I promise you it's with you. It's with you, it's with you, it's with you. And that doesn't have to be a dissonance. If it was with Joe Smith down the block, then you're screwed, because what if Joe Smith never does anything? Then you're screwed. But if the problem is with you, then you can change that. You can take responsibility for that. And I have to tell you, the day that I finally took responsibility for myself, or at least opened the door to considering taking responsibility for myself, was probably one of the best days of my entire life. Nothing on the outside was wonderful. Nothing looked great. Everything was crap. But there was something in me that was turning inwards to look at myself rather than outwards. And that's really when everything began to change for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I hope everyone is doing well. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, take care. Good night.